A mine security inspector is conducting routine inspections. Suddenly discovered they were placed in a crack in the mine cave, a mirror used to detect the movement of mountains. Years of shattered experience told him, the mine structure has shifted again. He looked around nervously. Suddenly, it was discovered that a huge crack appeared at the top. He was directly stunned. Here, dozens of miners are working. Once the mine collapses, the consequences will be unimaginable. The security inspector should hurry back, tell everyone about the danger situation. But by this time, the mining cave had already begun to vibrate violently. Gravel also keeps falling from the cracks. Then some areas began to collapse. The security inspector panicked and returned to the rest area, shouting loudly to tell everyone, and gather everyone to evacuate quickly. Go to the emergency shelter 700 meters underground. Meanwhile, other work areas have also experienced large-scale landslides. The miners began to flee for their lives. When two escape vehicles intersect, the security inspector asked them to quickly turn around and head for the underground shelter. But the speed of the other party far exceeded their imagination. A huge rock crashed down, blocked all channel exits. That's it. All personnel are trapped in a mine 700 meters underground. This is a movie adapted from a real mining accident in Chile. The miners slowly woke up from the darkness, after being counted by the security inspector. 33 miners, a lot of them, all survived. But what they didn't expect was, a huge stone weighing up to 100 meters and weighing about 700,000 tons completely sealed the exit. Trying to escape from here, it's just a silly dream. This plunged everyone into deep despair, but the foreman is unwilling to sit idly by. He brought a few brothers with him, Division of Labor and Cooperation, several people knocking on the pipeline. I hope to transmit the sound to the ground. The foreman climbed up the flue through a forklift, trying to find an exit, but it never occurred to him. Miners aimed to save costs. The ladder in the flue was only half repaired. This undoubtedly gave the miners who had just seen a glimmer of hope another death sentence. Meanwhile, the mining accident has attracted widespread attention from society. Family members also rushed to the scene. But what chilled them was, until it gets dark, the mine owner also did not appear to take any rescue measures, just a message from the security guard, let them go home and wait for news. He even threatened to drive away with a gun. Family members faced threats. Nature is fearless. Desperate and helpless protests were launched one after another. For the father of the child and the only pillar of the family, strive for rescue. Mining Minister Jack reported this news to the president, but the presidential secretary believes that collapsed mines belong to private enterprises. The government should not and has no obligation to take over. But Jack argued with reason. After a mine collapse, due to limited rescue conditions, the mine owner did not take any measures. Not only are there 33 fresh lives buried underground, but it involves the fate of dozens of families and the hope of life. If even the government gives up, how can we gain the trust of the people in the future? But it's not about obligations or whether or not, but morality and responsibility. Fortunately, the president adopted Jack's suggestion, and he was also appointed as the rescue commander-in-chief. But when he learned about the situation with the mine owner, but was informed that even rescue efforts are futile. This is a century-old mine. In the 25 years he took over, there have been 5 mining accidents, and they didn't even save a single person from going abroad. But Jack didn't listen to the miners' choice to give up, because he firmly believes, as long as you work hard, there will definitely be problems. But morality and power, it is precisely the support from the country, and a pair of desperate and hopeful eyes. Soon, the professional rescue team led by geologist Lau Bido also arrived at the scene as scheduled. Based on current understanding, the entire mine is about 700 meters deep, and the miners are all working at the bottom. But the main passage was blocked by this boulder weighing 700,000 tons. The only way is to drill. But because the mine is too deep, even if they don't stop day and night, without considering drilling deviation, it will take at least 8 days, but the mistake at the shelter can only last for up to 3 days. That is to say, the difficulty of rescue is unprecedented. The probability of success is less than 1%, and fast. Meanwhile, the miners also started to fight fiercely due to food issues. Fortunately, it was promptly stopped by the foreman. Now everyone is buried alive, and these are for everyone to survive. The only food, only reasonable distribution, to persist until rescue. But the security inspectors are not so optimistic. So far, they didn't hear the sound of drilling. Moreover, it took nearly 100 years for this mine to reach this location. The mine owner wouldn't even spend money to rescue everyone. Otherwise, he wouldn't have only installed half of the chimney ladder. According to the practice of mine owners, 3 days later, they will close the mine, and then build tombstones for everyone. But the foreman doesn't think so. On this, that was just posted. Actually, that's the leader's firm belief, infecting everyone, and hand over the food to him for unified distribution. In the face of disasters, not only food and water are missing, more importantly, a person with leadership skills is needed to maintain order and encourage. Under the leadership of the foreman, everyone, a box of milk is evenly divided into 33 parts, plus a cookie, to control food. The next meal needs to wait 24 hours later. Then they took down the car battery, connect to emergency light. The pitch-black shelter finally received a glimmer of light. Just then, they seemed to hear the sound of drilling holes. This sound sounds so beautiful, But what everyone didn't expect was, the drilling progress encountered obstacles. It turned out that the drill bit hit a hard rock, resulting in consecutive scrapping of drill bits. This undoubtedly increases the difficulty of rescue efforts. To appease the emotions of family members, the government has set up tents, canteens, and temporary schools near the mining area. They will do their best, never abandon, or give up any glimmer of hope. Time has arrived on the 8th day. There is already very little food left. Miners can only receive a small spoonful of canned food and a little filtered water every day. On the 12th day, good news has finally arrived. At this point, the drill bit is only 6 meters away from the shelter. This is an exciting moment, and the miners were excited by the sound of drilling in close proximity. Everyone cheered and prepared to welcome the arrival of the drill bit. But it never occurred to them. The sound of drilling has become increasingly distant. Original. The drill bit perfectly avoided the location of the shelter, went to the bottom of the shelter. This has brought everyone who just ignited hope to the bottom again. Negative and hopeless emotions instantly permeated the entire shelter. They are well aware of the current situation in their hearts. It took the rescue team 12 days to get here, and they won't be able to survive for another 12 days. At this time, the rescue team was also extremely disappointed. They realized that the drilling position had deviated by a full 10 meters. For everyone who has been waiting hard, undoubtedly, it's all a painful blow. Time has arrived on the 17th day. The miners took out the last box of cans and mixed it with water. I just hope everyone can take an extra sip, because this is their last meal. But at this moment, a miner apologizes to everyone, because he stole some cookies before. His only wish now is that everyone can forgive him for his prolonged hunger, causing everyone to start hallucinating. Family members, who have been thinking about it day and night, have brought them delicious food. Everyone gathered around the dining table, enjoying the long-lost and happy life. But soon they were brutally brought back to reality. As the last bite of food is eaten, everyone's tense emotions have also relaxed. Here, besides accepting fate, already in a land of no turning back, I don't know how long it took. The foreman was suddenly awakened by water droplets. As he slowly opened his eyes, the scene in front of him was like a dream that made him unbelievable. I saw the huge drill bit slowly descending with the light. He shouted loudly with all his strength. Such a resounding and powerful cry awakened the hope of everyone's rebirth. Original. After the drill bit deviated, I didn't choose to give up, but learn from it. Utilize the last deviation. Only the density of the rocks inside is known, and re-drill from areas with lower density, thereby reducing the drilling time. The miners happily sprayed paint on the drill bit. Even tie a note. Tell the people above, they're still alive. After the rescue team received the note, I can't believe the unwavering belief and determination not to give up, always able to create one miracle after another. Even the president proudly raised a note and said in a loud voice, "This moment is so inspiring," accompanied by various supplies being sent to shelters. The survival of the miners has finally been guaranteed. Meanwhile, they can also have video understanding with their families. Acacia. Mutual encouragement. In the following time, the rescue team needs larger drilling equipment. Drill out a life pipeline that people can pass through. But this is bound to be a huge project. On the 50th day, rescue encountered even greater problems. They crawled into the bedroom of the shelter. The drilling progress of the support beam has been greatly hindered. Meanwhile, the safety officer also discovered this issue through the drawings. The drill bit is too close to the steel structure support beam. Not only will it increase the difficulty of rescue, it may also cause secondary landslides. The miners believe they can carry out directional blasting, although this is very dangerous. But it's also the only way currently. They are all ready to go out. Take control of your destiny in your own hands. Must take another risk. With a loud bang, they successfully cleared the life passage obstructing the drill bit. Finally, after 69 days, a life passage has finally been built. As the life buoy slowly lowers, but everyone's hearts were raised to their throats. Because of directional blasting, the 700,000-ton boulder has loosened again. There is a possibility of falling again at any time, and the first person to board the lifeboat, although there are huge risks involved, but it could also be the only survivor. Fortunately, after experiencing a long 700-meter journey, the first survivor was slowly pulled out of the ground. Everyone is excited about it, accompanied by the cheers of everyone. 33 miners, no one fell, all safely returning home. This film is based on the real event of the mine disaster in Copiapo, Chile in 2010. 33 miners trapped 700 meters underground. After 69 days, they were all rescued. Let the radiance of human nature once again create a miracle of rescue in human history.